Elaine, welcome. How is Reckitt embracing the Gen AI challenge?
Well, we're embracing it all right. In fact, we launched an ambitious work stream, starting from marketing within Reckitt around three key business areas: automation, creativity, and innovation. And within innovation, I lead the insights and analytics group and insights generation, and starting with consumers and putting them at the heart of everything is a key part of our Gen AI initiative.
What do you think is the critical success factor when it comes to implementing a Gen AI solution?
I think there are two. So first I'm going to talk about data, because I can't help myself. But I think the data is critical. Proprietary data sets, and good quality data that you can use to fuel the Gen AI model, but to also train it is really important. And we have been fortunate in terms of the partnership that we've had with the BCG, where we've been driving demand-centric growth together. And through that, we've managed to create this phenomenal database of 500 million consumer data points around multiple markets and multiple categories. And that's just become like this treasure trove of data that we can use to fuel the model. But if I had to choose one critical thing, as much as I love data, I think the most critical thing is the human in the loop and the role of the creative human in the tacit knowledge of the creative human that is used to train the model, but also to use the model. And what we're seeing, even from very early results, I'm happy to say, is the AI-enabled marketer is able to produce more effective and higher quality outputs than the human alone. So therefore, it's really important to us to look not just at efficiency of AI, but actually effectiveness.
Can I ask you about a report that BCG's recently published that asked CMOs about what's top of their mind at the moment? And what they found was that predictive analytics and insight generation really wasn't top of the mind. Is that something that you're noticing in your sector?
Yeah, I think that's super interesting when I saw that as well. And what it says is, I don't think it's not top of mind, but it's more like where CMOs have gone first. And essentially the low-hanging fruit was around the creative space, around asset creation and creation of content. We've done the same as well. And that's where the CMOs have gone. And then what the study also showed, though, there was an opportunity for insights generation and predictive analytics. And what I'm happy to say as well is that we've already embarked on that journey, and we've already created an insights generation Gen AI solution that's harnessing the power of connecting the dots amongst all those, as I mentioned, proprietary data sets that we've already curated over time. And at the same time, trying to see how we can become more predictive by future-proofing the model with trends and other data from social search, ratings and reviews, to really future-proof the ideas that we come up with, and become much more predictive. So I'm happy to say I think it's very much in line with the learnings of what we saw in the CMO study, but it also gives me some at least confidence that we're heading the right direction.
What advice would you have for CMOs that haven't quite embarked on that journey yet? Or is it not gone in the right direction? But
well, I think they're probably pacing themselves. They're phasing in the game. What my advice would be that I know every single marketer always wants to be consumer centric, and all marketers desire to have the consumer at the heart of everything they do. And I've seen how incredible Gen AI can play such an enabling role in doing that. If you start with the consumer, if you start with what we know, including data on sustainability, D&I, we have an opportunity to actually come up with ideas that are truly consumer centric, but hopefully in the future more inclusive and sustainable as well.
Elaine, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.